points, the Eagles to win, and you're gonna have a night. We're not right very often. We'll do 3 for all at some point, but 6.5, 7.5, whatever you got it at, was just enough plus a half to cover with the Vikings. Eagles win. Eagles are 2-0. Vikings are 0-2, and your second week of the NFL is off and running. We are rivalry week, rivalry game eve, if you will. Good morning to you. Merry Friday. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and last night football. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, DC. How we living?
What it do?
You all right?
Yeah.
Life grooving?
Groovy.
All right, you ready for the big Rocky Mountain Showdown and the Rio Grande rivalry and big rivalry weekend? Who knew rivalry weekend was the second week of high school or college football, right? Who knew? That's when all the big games are happening.
So for New Mexico, it's not always this weekend?
No. I mean, it's last year was the middle of October. And is it always the same weekend in Colorado?
Usually it's this weekend or the weekend before.
Yeah, we've talked about this a million times. Like, would it be best as the last game of the season for the Rio Grande rivalry for the Lobos and Aggies to play the last game? Because on years where they're not very good, and there have been plenty of those around here, it gives them both something to play for, right? It's the rivalry around Thanksgiving. You don't like that?
No.
Would it be good as a set weekend? Would it be good as the first game of the year? So they move it all around, wherever it goes. What's up, dude? You all right?
It's really exciting and very interesting this weekend.
There's so many storylines into this weekend. There's so many different. Yes, there's a lot to it. And who knew that the Lobos were the betting favorite? Like you put this out. You get a haircut.
I did.
Check you out, all cleaned up for the big
weekend.
Game this weekend. I mean, you check out JJ got a freshie.
Oh,
yeah, he's got a freshie for the big rivalry game. Look at you with your rivalry freshie. I like it.
That's what they call babies in Australia.
Freshies?
Yep.
Yeah, I look at him like, damn, I got hair envy. I wish I could do different stuff. I do. Do you know 2 days ago somebody told me it was bald is beautiful day? The Rock was out there, and it was bald is beautiful day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't celebrate it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little hurt by that too. I'm not gonna lie to you. You guys, no cake. Edward didn't come in with a half-eaten bald cake or something. Pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. All right, 34-28 last night. If you've had Kirk Cousins in fantasy football, this is so everything about this is typical, except for DeAndre Swift going for 175 yards after touched the ball twice in game one. The former Lions back, now the Eagles back. 28 touches last night, carry-wise, 3 receptions, 175 yards rushing and a touchdown. Jalen Hurts got to finish one off. Kirk Cousins went for 364 yards, 4 touchdowns. If he's your fantasy quarterback, you're out. You're stoked. If you're a Viking fan, you got down. This game probably went a lot like you thought this game was going to go. Maybe a little higher scoring on a Thursday night than you thought, but this is an Eagle Vikings game.
This is a game that you are incredibly frustrated with if you're the Minnesota Vikings. Instead of being up 14-10 at half, you're down 13-7. Instead of having opportunities to win that game, you're giving everything away. And it was more of the same where, here comes Minnesota in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden deciding to play good football, deciding to play clean football. And for a team that won 11 one-score games last year, the breaks were just not always going to go your way. And that was last night. The sloppy football to put on the ground. Justin Jefferson, you're dropping the football and bumbling through the end zone? What are we doing here?
Yeah, that was a tough one. And I know people hate that rule, and I don't know how else you want to rule it. There's no other way to rule it, right? I've never, you and I have had this conversation a lot. I don't hate the rule. I think it's the right rule. People, you shouldn't get penalized for, yeah, you kind of should. Well, but it goes into the end zone, and so what do you want to do with it? You want to give him the ball back where he fumbled it? That's not right. He fumbled it out of bounds through the end zone. It's a touchback. That's how
ball security is paramount.
Yeah,
near the end zone.
People keep telling me they want to change that rule. I hear that every time this comes up. What is it you want to do? Where do you want that? Put it at the 20. What? Why should I just never understood that. Whatever. How much trouble the Vikings in? They're 0-2.
I don't feel like they're in a lot of trouble.
You don't? Because they move the ball?
Because I wasn't watching that game and go, wow, Minnesota can't compete.
I totally agree with that.
The ridiculous amount of turnovers, the fumbles. And And the division, they can play with Detroit. They can beat Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm focusing on if I'm Minnesota right now.
So the division is not that good, or at least not.
I don't watch
spectacular.
Minnesota and say, "Oh, they can't
That's right.
do this again and win the NFC North."
Chargers and Panthers next. Chargers at home, Panthers on the road. Then they get the Chiefs in division against the Bears, and then they get the Niners. They got to start winning some games. I mean, they got to start.
It's not great for their wild card outlook. It's all division now for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chargers aren't division, Chiefs aren't division, but it's conference.
Win your division games.
Yeah, they got to win those division games. What do you make of the Eagles? I kind of look at the Eagles and I say, all right, it's pretty impressive when you don't feel that they played that well and they keep winning and they beat what I think is a good football team. It was a 13-win football team last year. Eagles are everybody's favorite in the NFC. Maybe they aren't anymore after watching the Niners once, but it feels like, all right, they're just, if this is where they're starting and you believe they're going to get better, they're going to be pretty damn good, right?
DeAndre Swift.
How about that?
Coming a legit bell cow running back for a game. No one else available. Let's give him the ball.
For a game.
And he looked very good. Because that offensive line, it's so simple, man. You saw it. Minnesota did a really good job of taking away the early deep shots after Devontae Smith had that big play. And there's like, here's a read handoff. Deal with it. And Minnesota couldn't.
All right, we're here for you today. 505-246-0610. If you want to get in on the rivalry stuff, you can. If you want to get in on the NFL stuff, we'll do, I don't know, sometime in the 9 o'clock hour, probably about 9:30. We'll do a 3-for-all. We'll just go online and pick 3 games and go against us so you can make some money because we're not very good at picking games against the spread, but we'll do that for you. 8:30 this morning. Looking forward to talking about the rivalry. George Carter, the former Lobo linebacker who will be my partner on the TV broadcast, he will be with us. We'll look at this rivalry. He's played in it. We'll hear a replay for you what Diego Pavia told us a few weeks ago, the Aggie quarterback, about the rivalry. 9 o'clock, Nick Nee's going to be with us. Get you a golf tip. Perfect time of year to play golf. This is the best time of year. And take a look ahead at the Ryder Cup. And it's you. We're going to get into Dion and that bull junk. I'm just over here. I was just preparing for my show, trying to be the best radio host I can be, watching some video, reading up, and then I hear this bull junk. By the way, my favorite thing about that whole thing was the word bull junk. Like, can I use that now?
Bull junk.
Bull junk.
I like it.
It's so good.
It's clean.
So good.
It's good.
So we played that early yesterday. And when we come back, we'll hear what Dion had to say. And I know you've probably heard it by now, but I want to get into it. We knew it was going to blow up, right? And I said to you yesterday, I don't know if this is calculated by Jay Norvell because they're the Washington Generals. Nobody knows who Jay Norvell is. Played a year in the NFL. He's a 36-36 career football coach. Outside of the people who cover this league, did anybody know who Jay Norvell is on the national level? And all of a sudden, dude's the second most famous coach in America. And I've heard everything from he said it tongue-in-cheek. It was just a joke. There's dog whistles in there. There's why the hell did he say it? I don't think even he calculated this sort of response. Do you?
No, not at all.
And if you don't know, he's the head coach of Colorado State. I guess I should preface that.
Yeah. Oh, that guy.
Yeah. I can't tell you I was astonished by the way it spread yesterday, and it was one of the top 2 stories on everybody's show. It was that and Rodgers' Achilles surgery. Oh, and then there's an NFL game tonight. The reason it doesn't surprise me is because it's got to do with Coach Prime, because it's got something to do with Dion, which is the biggest story in American sports right now. It just is. But I still sit back and wonder, why? When you go back now and look at all the I don't know, all the attention, you think it was the right move? I mean, it calculated now. If you can go back and say 24
I don't know
hours,
how calculated it was.
I don't think it was either.
It didn't feel like, hey, at some point in time, I got to make sure I work this in. It kind of felt off the cuff, like a little more frustration, a little jealous in a way, because he's also said this week that he
Respects him.
understands the attention and this is great for our program. They're playing a primetime game on ESPN.
And it ain't because of them.
And he said those things,
Yeah.
but in that moment, he was prickly about something. And now that, like, this is one where we always talk about coaches being calculated and motivated. Well, it's publicity. Well, in this case, this could be bad publicity for his team because CU didn't brush this off.
Mm-hmm.
CU said, okay, we hear you.
What do you think?
And we might have won this game by 35. Let's go win it by, 38 or 40.
We come back, you'll hear what Coach Prime had to say about it. You heard Jay Norvell yesterday. My mom told me I take my hat off and my sunglasses off when I talk to grown-ups. That's what my mother taught me. And Coach Prime responded to that. And I want to get into it. If you were advising someone now, is Colorado State better off or worse off 24, 40, 36 hours later than they were before Jay Norvell made these comments? We're going to get into that next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Thursday night and Monday Night Football.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. You want an exciting and fast-paced podcast based on one of the most...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry.
Big night last night for us at New Mexico Bowl. Full disclosure, I am the executive director of the New Mexico Bowl. And we announced a new title sponsor, a multi-year agreement with Isleta Resort. And New Mexico Bowl is now called the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. And it's JJ, you've known how long I've been working on this, and DC, you've been around long enough. It's a big deal. And for us at New Mexico Bowl, a tremendous local partner with whom we've partnered for years. Our luncheon has been down there for years. And to expand this now and to be able to put them on a national stage with the beautiful Isleta Resort and all the great things that they do in our community. And it was a really good night for our stakeholders. We were out at the office on the west side to introduce the new logo and the new name, and it was received with such positivity by our stakeholders, our board, our partners. So the New Mexico Bowl is now officially, and it will be for years, Isleta New Mexico Bowl.
The Isleta New Mexico Bowl. The logo transition seamless. Fantastic.
Looks all right.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're happy with it too. It's a big deal. It's for the stability of our game. It's and thank you to everybody down at Isleta, Governor Zuni and the Tribal Council, and Stacy and Adriana and Diana. It was agreed upon, man, that when the lawyers get involved, I think we came to an agreement on May 31 and announced it on September 14. But it's good. It was a big deal. So it's now Isleta New Mexico Bowl, and it'll be December 16th out at University Stadium. All right, let's get into the bull junk. So you heard Jay Norvell, Colorado State's coach, yesterday, basically go after Deion. I'm tired of it, and he said, and players are tired of it. The context is they're the Washington Generals. Everybody's watching the Colorado State game tomorrow because of Colorado. They don't know anything about Colorado State. Don't expect anything from Colorado State. Don't care about Colorado State. It's like watching the Globetrotters play the Generals. And Jay Norvell spoke out referring to Deion. And I want you to keep in mind, because I heard this a lot yesterday. I heard their dog whistles. I heard if he was a white coach, he would be canceled, or all of that. Jay Norvell is an African-American coach, if you didn't know that, because I do think that context is important, don't you?
Yes, I do.
All right. This is Jay Norvell. I was Jay Norvell yesterday saying, I take my glasses off, my hat off when I talk to a grown-ups, is what he said. That's how my mother taught me. This was Deion at practice yesterday addressing his team.
I'm minding my own business, watching some film, trying to get ready, trying to get out here and be the best coach I could be. And I look up and I read some bull junk that Deion said about us.
Talk to us.
Once again,
talk to us.
Why would you want to talk about us when we don't talk about nobody? All we do is go out here, work our butts off, and do our job on Saturday. But when they give us ammunition, they done messed around and made it what? It was just going to be a good game. They done messed around and made it personal. It was going to be a great test, a battle of Colorado, but they done messed around and made it personal.
They messed around and made it personal.
This is prime example of what you do not want to have happen. This is what coaches fear all the time, and we wonder, how much stuff is real. And there's cliches in sports, and coaches talk about those cliches, but this is one of those moments where the bulletin board, you walk around UNM facilities, it's 21-9 beat state.
Everywhere, up and down the stairs.
Now, for the yesterday, today, and leading up to kickoff, all CU is going to say it's personal. It's personal.
They should have, you know how when Brian Wilson, the former Giants Dodgers reliever with the big beard, came to town and they had the T-shirt with the hat and the beard, they should just have a caricature with just glasses and a hat.
They're
right?
very,
no face and just put that everywhere.
I know the CU, their student section, or I don't know what it's exactly called, but they're actually coming back now because they have a student section this year.
Yeah, how about that?
Amazing when you win.
Winning.
Student section show up. Their rallying call is everyone wear a hat and glasses again.
That's right. I've heard people saying what I said yesterday after the game. Should Deion look him in the eye with his glasses on, his hat on, or should he take his hat and his sunglasses off and ask him how that ass whooping tastes? So is Colorado State better off today than they were 36 hours ago? That people are talking about Colorado State. You hear all the time, no publicity is bad publicity, right? No PR is bad PR. And now people know who Jay Norvell is. I listened to 2 shows coming in this morning, and those people, they didn't know where Colorado State is, what their colors were, who their coach, nothing about him. And now Jay Norvell is a national name. His picture was all over Sports Center and Pick Your Talk Show on Pick Your Network, right? He was everywhere. He is national news, right up there with Prime. Is he and or they better off than they were when they were the Washington Generals 2 days ago? Same colors, by the way, gold and green.
I don't feel that way.
You don't?
I don't feel that way in this one. Because the
Because he
percentages
comes off
are so small that they can pull this upset, and then it turns into this unbelievable positive for Colorado State.
Okay. I think I agree with you. I think I do.
But we're talking about Jay Norvell, and the words that are coming out, or jealousy. Well, if he was this guy, he'd be canceled. Like, none of that stuff is a way you can go, well, at least they're talking about me.
Yeah, and DC, you were saying earlier, and some of the context that he said, and this was on the Jay Norvell show. And look, you and I, JJ and I've sat with Jay. He's a straight up guy. Like, I think you'd like him. He's a pretty engaging guy. But you were saying some stuff that he was saying in regards to Deion that sounded like jealousy.
It did. He pointed out the fact that Deion got an opportunity so quickly. He was happy for him. He's happy for black coaches that get opportunities. But he made a point to say it took so long for him to get his chance. It reeked of jealousy is what it really did.
Yeah, and look, some guys have different routes, right? Coach Prime. Now, Jay Norvell didn't have to go to an HBCU. His first head coaching job was at Nevada. Now, you can argue what's a better job, Jackson State or Nevada, right? But he went to Nevada and he did well there. He was, I believe, at Texas A&M before that as a coordinator. Again, Jay is an African-American coach, so he's talking about an African-American coach, and I've heard the dog whistle stuff, and people are angry that the people in the background were laughing. Well, he gave them what to laugh at. He gave them something to clap at. I mean, it's not like, well, those are dog whistles. What are they saying? Well, wait. I mean, Jay said this. Is there a racial tone to it? We can dissect this and pick it apart.
No, I don't think. I think this was the people in the background are Colorado State fans,
right?
At a Colorado State coaches show,
right?
And that's the 0.001% of the fan base that is just going to go gaga over anything for their team.
That is absolutely right. Anything he says, they're going to react.
Like, you made the effort to attend a coach's show,
right? At some restaurant in Fort Collins,
you could just say "Go Rams" and they'd be like, "Yeah!"
No, 100%. I look at Jay and is he going to forever? I mean, this is not going well for Colorado State this weekend, right? I don't see a scenario. I just don't think they're good enough to beat Colorado. And Colorado now has incentive to go because they've done and messed around. It's personal. They made it personal.
Well, play devil's advocate real quick though.
Yeah.
What if CSU goes out and wins?
Well, then he's a star, right? Then he played himself into a star.
So is he the name people are talking about at the end of the season to fill a big position, or?
Well, let's see. I'm not if he goes 3-9 again. No, just because he beat this team. Now, if he parlays this into something where he goes 9-3, and Look, Jay's getting paid up there really well. Is he the highest paid coach in this league? He's one of them. That's why he left Nevada. Okay. To your point, wouldn't he have gotten it anyway, though? If he took Colorado State without talking and wins this game, and they go 9-3, he's up for a job, right? Is he going to be known as that guy? Remember that fool, that coach that opened his mouth about the Coach Prime? No, honestly, you're going to forget his name in 2 weeks, and or nationally. That line, JJ, didn't just come to him as he was sitting there with the host. That line didn't just pop in his head. That line was in his head. He was going to drop that, and I think you said this, DC, earlier. He was going to drop that line somewhere in there, right? I don't know if it was all calculated as far as where this was going to go, and this is going to go national, it's going to blow up. But that wasn't the first time he had thought about that line. And he was going to drop that on his coach's show at some point. Now, did he think the coach's show was just going to stay in Fort Collins?
Apparently. I mean, he the way he just spit it out, I don't think he expected it to just grow like this.
Right?
But you're right. He definitely had that thought in his mind. I wonder, he and his coaches were probably trash talking him or something, and that was maybe a theme that stuck with him.
You're just thinking a foolish thing to say, man.
Well, this one, the percent that it turns into a positive is so small for Jay Norvell.
Yeah.
Like, this is one where I think it was such a swing and a miss. Like, what are you upset about? That you had to do more media availability? That they were talking to you about Colorado State instead of asking you questions about Colorado instead of
Colorado
State when you're sitting down? Like, you have to understand the magnitude of this game. And in other interviews, he did.
Yeah.
But in that moment, his frustration boiled over.
No, because it was on his network on the Jay Norvell show.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't see the point behind it. I don't see what so many coaches say. It's like, everything's calculated, everything for a reason. This was just a shot. And here's the thing. If you want to take your shot, Jay Norvell can't run from it. He can't. There's no way to say, well, what I meant. No, that is exactly what you meant. And he has to stand up there and hope his team plays well. And then we talked about it yesterday. How should Deion Sanders, at the end of that game, both those men should walk to center field, face each other, shake hands, own it, man to man, whatever happened, and then move on.
If you're going to take your shot, that's the best shot you got. Like, did you think he was being funny, making a point? Like, honestly, I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm going to take my shot if it was calculated. I mean, he thought about that line. He knew he was. I firmly believe he knew he was going to drop that line somewhere in the show. That's the best thing you got. And I guess what would you go after Prime with right now, right? What is there to go after Prime with right now? Everybody's taking their shots on the portal. That's kind of backfired. Everybody's taking shots on the HBCU thing. That's backfired. Everybody's taking shots on your flashy. Now it's your hat and glasses. If you're going to take a shot at him, you got to come a little better than take your hat and sunglasses off, don't you?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And I'm not even sure what are you going at? Where are you going? He's almost bulletproof right now. You got something? Because I'm listening.
There is nothing pregame for Colorado State other than the biggest underdog ever type of mentality, chip on the shoulder, all that nonsense, run with it and go. But now it's personal.
And for Jay, the other thing on this is, you started to allude to this. Prime time or game, what is it? Game day's there. I keep saying prime time. Game day's there. Fox is there. They're on prime time on a national network. Not because of you, man. Because of that dude. The reason your program has an opportunity to shock the world, and that would shock the world, right? You've got an opportunity is because of that man and what that program is doing. And the answer is that. I respect what Deion's doing. It's different, it's unorthodox, and it's working, and we're glad to be part of this. We think we got a good football team, and we're ready for the challenge. We're going up there. We respect them, and what they've done and what Deion's done is tremendous, turning that around. This rivalry means a lot to a lot of people, and certainly to our kids, and we'll be there, and we're thankful for the opportunity. I mean, that's the answer, right?
It is.
Not, man, my mom told me to take my sunglasses
this
off
to me, Jeff,
what?
this feels like noise that creeps in. This is the noise that I would be worried about on a third down. Like, it's in your team's head.
So you finally found one, right? You finally found one that on third down and on that play, that outside noise finally matters. See? It's been a long finally.
A while.
No, finally we talk about this all the time. What do you think? 505-246-0610. Was Jay Norvell right, wrong? Should he have, shouldn't he have? Are they better off? Listening to you. Listen to that bull junk. That bull junk that they're talking about. I'm just trying to be the best that I could be. That bull junk. And when we come back, Aaron Rodgers had the surgery and had a little something to say about it. We'll get into that. And is a quarterback who played last night the answer for the Jets? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point here.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that? Ethan Olguin. My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Is that Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
With his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
Right
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
He said it's a rivalry game. Norvell's playing to the fans to generate interest and a belief to his players that they're the enemy. Colorado's not doing things the right way. It's State's job to fix it. No ill will, it's all hype. It's a one-sided rivalry where one team always wins and the other is the stepchild. CSU wins this game, once every 10 years? It's the biggest win of the decade, similar to UNM and State. Ha ha. There you go, a little smack. Is that a little UNM's New Mexico State smack? He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
But it was such a personal shot at Deion Sanders that it's hard for me to buy into the hoorah rivalry talk.
Go State stuff?
Yeah.
It wasn't about their program. It was about one dude who wears glasses and a hat when he's talking to grown-ups. And his mother taught him not to do it that way. That was totally a personal shot. There's no other way to look at it. A personal shot at a guy who's trying to be the best he can be, and then he hears this bull junk. Bull junk's my favorite new word. Is there a fantasy team I could change to bull junk?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. I may change one of my 0 because I got 3 of them 0-1 teams.
Yeah, if those go to 0-2, it's definitely bull junk.
To bull junk. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Well, that's such a big thing in Colorado too.
Bull junk?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's everywhere on the road? What?
Because of Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yeah. It's everywhere on the road. All right. Can one of the quarterbacks who played last night be the answer to the Jets? Robert Saleh, the head coach of the Jets, will have you believe there's no question to be answered, that they've got their quarterback. Aaron Rodgers went down, and they've got Zach Wilson. Now, Eric Rodgers had his surgery yesterday, sent out a picture from the hospital, said surgery went great. Thank you for all the love and the prayers and support. Thanks to the great Dr. El Atrache and his staff for starting me on the road to recovery. Okay. There's a story out this morning by Cody Benjamin, CBS. And he believes a Kirk Cousins to the Jets trade will make sense. That Cousins, there's more than one, should soon make legitimate sense as the Jets trade target. Why? Well, the Vikings aren't out of it, but they might be. A competitive rebuild. The Jets have a lot of money tied into Rodgers, but Cousins is only under contract for this year at $20.25 million through 2023. The Vikings would eat some of that, facilitate a deal. And who says Cousins wouldn't restructure the deal? Waive his no-trade clause if it meant suiting up alongside that Jets team, especially if the Vikings aren't going well. And if Zach Wilson isn't playing well, is Kirk Cousins a guy, if you can get the Vikings to eat some of the salary, is that a guy that would make sense?
Is Kirk Cousins worth a first-round pick for 16 games?
Well, it won't even be 16, first of all, because by the time you get this done, it's going to be a few weeks down the line.
15 games.
If you think you can get to the Super Bowl, it is. Yeah.
And that's the one veteran quarterback where this conversation, you can talk yourself into it because of him being a free agent.
Yeah, because you're not tied to a bunch of money after that. You right? It's about this year and getting through this year. You think you're getting Rodgers back next year. It's just about this year. He's at 20.25 on the books this year. He's already been paid. If you get them to pay for some of it. Now, what would it take? I don't know, man. Would it take? Is he worth a first? He's worth whatever somebody's going to pay. And if the Vikings are holding him and
well, the Vikings would be punting on the rest of their season.
Yeah, I don't even know who their backup is. Do you?
It's Jaron Hall.
Might be.
So for them,
Their backup is Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But for them, if you looked at their schedule, okay, and we just did, they're 0-2. They got the Chargers, Carolina, Kansas City, Chicago, and San Francisco. So if they start out 2-5, realistic, right? Before they get in the meat of their division schedule, if they punt on this season, they get a first-round pick for next year. There's a lot of quarterbacks coming out. Now, it's not going to be a high first-round pick. It's going to be the Jets, which is going to be theoretically 28, 9, 30, somewhere in there, right? Is it worth it? I mean, I don't know. The other argument is can Kirk Cousins win?
If you're seeing Kirk Cousins start 2-5 in Minnesota, or at that point, who knows who their quarterback would be if they make this trade, it would be believing the upgrade he would be for the Jets offense, which he would be.
Yep.
A significant upgrade from Zach Wilson. As frustrated as Minnesota is this morning, do you think the question you have to ask yourself is, can they not compete in that division?
Yeah, and they can. And the answer is they can. Yeah. Chad, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Chad.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I like that. I like that scenario with Kirk Cousins, actually, because, they seem like there's a bit of a drop-off this year already with the lack of with the running back. Running game's not much of a threat. Kirk Cousins still if they could work out a deal with getting some of that cash moved over. But they have to do something, the Jets. We all know Zach Wilson isn't the answer. You haven't seen enough potential out of him. Even if he was a gunslinger that could have an upside like a Brett Favre where he throws some touchdowns and throw a bunch of picks, but at least he's throwing touchdowns in the process. You don't even see that out of him.
Right.
So it's just, you got to go somewhere. I would even give a call to Phillip Rivers. He was apparently going to step in for the 49ers in the Super Bowl last year. And, 1 year, that guy would really lift the team. But you got to find somebody out there that is going to be an upgrade, because they were so close to making the playoffs. And, if they could get somebody like Phillip Rivers or somebody that would even still keep those expectations alive, potentially that would be, that'd be great.
Chad, appreciate the call. No, thanks for that. Phillip Rivers. Last we saw him was 2 years ago in Indianapolis. Didn't look that good. Wasn't very mobile. Wasn't throwing the ball. Now he's got 10 kids. He could always use the check. Phillip Rivers the answer?
Hard pass.
That's who the Niners were going to go to last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess he can lift his arm and throw a ball. It's more than they had in the playoffs, right? Yeah, it feels to me like Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan are done. Right? Tom Brady's done.
If you feel so strongly about, man, we just need a veteran guy in here, then just don't call pass plays for Zach Wilson.
No.
Because Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers are not going to be completing game-winning passes for you at this point in time. If you're just like, well, just don't throw an interception, well, are they going to be able to make any plays anymore?
The Kirk Cousins thing is interesting. I haven't thought of it this way. He's averaging 354 yards a game in his 2 games. I mean, he's chucking the ball over the yard. I thought he looked fine last night. It's not his fault that Jefferson fumbled the ball through the end zone. He put up 364 yards and 4 touchdowns last night. If you got him in fantasy football, you're thrilled. If you're a Vikings fan, you're not. It's interesting. All right, keep them coming at 505-246-0610. George Carter's going to join us at 8:30, the former Lobo linebacker, to talk about the rivalry. When we come back, what Diego Pavia told us about the rivalry. The Aggie quarterback joined us a few weeks ago. 2 weeks before, he had games in between, but I asked him then about it, what he had to say, and what you have to say about Lobos and Aggies coming up tomorrow at University Stadium. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night and Monday night and last night football.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry.
An AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, you ready? You going out? Everybody but JJ got a tailgate ready, set, fired up?
I'm open to the invitation.
You're just going to say no?
I'm not going to say no.
All right.
You can change my mind.
Rudy offered you a green chili cheeseburger, didn't he?
I did appreciate that.
Yeah.
Last weekend.
I think he's got water. JJ told me, DC, one time we were in Vegas for the basketball tournaments, and our show in Vegas is at 6 in the morning. This is when we went down. We did it at the sports book at the old Hard Rock. And like, damn, that's early. He's like, you can drink water. I'm like, oh, it never even dawned on me.
That was a new rule.
Who
they
knew?
had to explain to you.
You can, I imagine you can drink water. We're going to hear from George Carter, the former Lobo linebacker at 8:30. He is the analyst on the television broadcast on the Mountain West Network. I'll have the play-by-play, and George is my partner on that. Diego Pavia was with us a few weeks ago, before the start of the Aggies season. Diego was the quarterback for New Mexico State. Diego was the player of the game in their victory, the Aggies' victory in the Quick Lane Bowl over Bowling Green last year. Diego is from Volcano Vista High School here in Albuquerque, was unrecruited, went to junior college, New Mexico Military Institute, led NIMI to a national junior college championship, and earned the starting spot at New Mexico State. Diego is such a likable, hard-nosed, gritty. I mean, it's hard not to like Diego the way he plays, huh?
Yes.
This is a big deal for him. He did not play in the Aggie Lobo game last year, which New Mexico State won down in Las Cruces. Gavin Frakes was the quarterback. So when he was with us, this is before the UMass game, and I asked him, because of all that, and I know your answer is going to be, we got 3 games to play beforehand, but I asked him then, was he looking ahead to September 16th and playing against the Lobos?
Yeah, I wasn't able to play against New Mexico, and I wouldn't say that was our turning point, but I say it was pregame against Liberty. We were just having fun. Coaches were kind of nervous because we were having too much fun, and they're like, "What's wrong with this team?" Like we're I don't know, we were probably like 4-6. And they're like, "What's wrong with this team?" Like we're losing, and we have a losing record, but they're having fun. And after that, it was just like, we're gonna approach the game like this every single time. So we just started, playing our music.
Yeah, I think that was the wrong, but that was him talking about the turning point against the turning point of the year against Liberty. Well, I want to get you the bite because this is something that for a New Mexico kid, right? He has had it circled, and you hear the guys like I think after the game, the new guys are going to get it. The guys who grew up around it, Danny Gonzalez, Diego Pavia, they get it. The guys who played in it years later, they're George Carters, your Dontrell Moores, they get it. I heard the word hate a lot this week. I don't know if I feel there's hate. I think we do some stuff around here that is just so New Mexico. We have band controversies and the stories about security, and it's just whatever. And the game's on Crime TV, which is crazy. But I think the guys who play in it and grow up around it get it. And
that's the case for every rivalry.
Yeah, I think that's right.
There's a few that you're going to know regardless because they are so big. But when you're bringing people from out of state at all these universities, you have to experience it. I was talking with Joe Selfo, the tight ends coach.
Yeah.
Brand new to the team.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I've been hearing about this since January when I got here. And it is something that you're focused on the next day. You're focused on the game ahead. But they make it a point of how important this game is. And until you're experiencing it, until you're walking that stadium and realize, oh, there's a lot of people here. They're actually showed up for this game. That's a light bulb moment.
So,
but it's different for Diego Pavia because he didn't get an offer from New Mexico. Danny Gonzalez openly said he didn't offer Diego Pavia.
Yeah.
And so he has
Danny's,
that chip on his shoulder.
Danny stopped short of saying I made a mistake. He said, did I make a mistake? He said something like he's done a great job down there, right? Mm-hmm. I think you're right. It's any rivalry. Somebody said to me the other day, what are we doing? It's team 126 against team 129 or something in the rank. What are they ranked? And whatever. For the young men who put on a uniform every week, who bust their butt every week, it's a big deal to them. For those of you who went to school or grew up around here, it's a big deal. For those of you who live in this state, it can be a big deal. And by the way, when it comes to football, which is the biggest deal in our sports society, it's the biggest thing we got in our state.
What are we doing? We're focusing on the biggest event this weekend that directly affects so many people in the state.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, more people, the alumni I talk to, and I know, a lot of people who played in this rivalry, and they always reckon back to whatever their memory was, and it's usually a loss, right? Man, when they love the wins, but you talk to people. We'll talk to George. I don't know if George ever lost to New Mexico State. We'll talk to him at 8:30. George Carter will be with us. But when you talk to Don Trell about it, I mean, he lights up a little differently, doesn't he?
Of course,
right?
Of course.
Scott Cregan, Brian Urlacher.
Well, and the reality of it, too, what you're talking about, Jeff, is there haven't been a lot of other moments to overshadow the rivalry game.
I think that's fair.
And until you start getting those moments, that's why this is such a big game on the schedule.
Yeah. It'll be tomorrow out at University Stadium. Over under on the number of interceptions little Diego will throw against UNM is at 4 or 5. That poor kid is an interception machine. I'll take under 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'll go under. All right, you got that soundbite? Do we have time for it? Or do you want to do it when we come back? All right, here's Diego Pavia on the rivalry when we asked him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we obviously, I want to start 3-0 before we get there just to start things off right. But, yeah, that'll be I won't say too much on it, but that'll be a tremendous game for me. And I feel like, I'm really looking forward to it just because obviously I didn't get to play last year in that game. And so I feel like I got a chip on, even a bigger chip on my shoulder for that game.
Yeah, yeah. It's a young man. I mean, he's the definition of chip on his shoulder player, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And I love it. Overlooked. I mean, even last year, man, he was done. It was all about Gavin Frakes. When he didn't play in this game and the Aggies won, oh, yeah. No, Gavin Frakes, your guy going forward. He's the recruited kid out of Oklahoma. He looks like a quarterback. Diego came back, won the job, won games, won a bowl game, won an MVP, and won a Heisman vote. He had a Heisman vote. That's how big of a deal that was. All right, when we come back, NFL stuff going into your weekend, Cowboy injuries. And I got a bunch of you talking about Jay Norvell, the Colorado State coach. See, everybody's talking about this guy. What you're saying about him and why you think Jay Norvell said that bull junk about Deion in Colorado. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and last night football.
London's calling. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome
for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
34-28 Eagles over the Vikings last night. If you had Vikings in 6.5 or 7.5, whichever you got it at, you're a winner, huh? You got a winner. If you had Eagles in money line, you also got you a winner. 2-0 are the Eagles. 0-2 are the Vikings. It's the opening drive. Happy Friday. Ho to you. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Rivalry Eve here in the land of enchantment and up in the Rocky Mountain Showdown region. We're the Southern Rockies. Colorado State, all that bull junk that's been talked up there. And you're talking a lot about them. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. You can send emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. There's a lot of talk about Jay Norvell, the Colorado State coach, because he did a lot of talking about Deion and Colorado and what his mother taught him. HB said Norvell's here's why he doesn't have a leg to stand on, Jeffy. CSU has brought in almost as many mercenaries as Coach Hype. Yes.
That's not what he's talking about.
But they don't win as much. And by the way, CSU's coach takes his hat off and his glasses off when he talks to grown-ups. That's what he's talking about. Like he's grasping. He knows he's grasping. He knows that the state is being run by the guy he's playing this week. He should accept that that's why he's on national TV and ESPN gives a damn, and game day is there, and his kids are actually being interviewed by ESPN, and that's the reason he got to take his hat and his glasses off is because of what Deion's done. Rod says, here's what I wish Jay Norvell would have said, Jefferson. College should be all about recruiting guys in their living room as pimply-faced boys and keeping them on campus until they run down that ramp for the last time as a senior night, on senior night as men. Not it's all about catching lightning in a bottle with a bunch of mercenaries that combined high school and college have already been to like 15 programs. That's not what college should be all about. You don't know if Prime's guys are still going to be around in 3 months because some other program might offer them big dollars. Rod. Well, I understand, Rod.
Sorry, college athletics has passed you by, Rod.
Yeah, Rod, that's
left you in the dust.
I understand that's what you want him to say, but
it also can't be because there's very few people that feel like Rod.
There's probably more than you think.
Okay, then why do they want to fire the coach after every other season?
Well,
they're not into development or building players.
I think people feel like what Rod is, but they understand that it's changed, right? Lobos, if they turn this thing around, it's going to be because they got 41 new players in this year, right? Colorado was 1-11 last year, boys and girls. And not only 1-11, they were getting blued out on a regular basis. It's not that they were a competitive 1-11.
But at the same time, it's easy to say, but these people aren't giving coaches time to develop.
Of course not.
But yet that they want the development. You're not going to give a coach 4 or 5 years to bring in a full recruiting class and develop them. They're winning 1 or 2 games the entire season. You're going to say fire them.
Was their only win last year against Colorado State? I'm just curious. Rod, I get it. And it was nice when you had guys. There's part of me that feels your way too, but it's just not going to be that way. And that's not what he's going to say. And it's not what college athletics are about anymore. It's just not. And again, what were the average for college basketball? 5.5 players per team in the portal, right? Now, all the kids in the portal don't end up finding a place, and there's bad stories, and is it great for everyone? It's not. But it's not going backwards. And I don't often tell you how to be a fan or how to like what to like. But I mean, I'm going to start. If you can't get on with it, college athletics isn't your game anymore. It's just not.
Not going backwards.
It's not.
What they're trying to do is work on the oh my gosh, you played at 15 different institutions. I don't think people understand how dramatic an effect the extra year of COVID eligibility had on these rosters. So you had transfers, then you had grad transfers, you had an extra year of eligibility, and so people were playing at more schools over the last few years because rosters were inflated. But that's not going to be the case going forward.
Is this the last year of that? Is there one more year of COVID year after this?
There's like a few as if you're a freshman, so a little while. So it's going to be around for a while, but now it's the one free transfer.
Yeah, and you get an extra year.
And if you want to transfer before you graduate, you sit. And that's
for a second year. Or you apply for a waiver, which are becoming increasingly harder to get. And that should be, by the way.
The point. And so that's why we're starting to see this try to get more on track, but there was just so much that went on over the last 3 years.
Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Channel. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. A lot of anticipation heading into the weekend, but the primary focus of my call today is to say, Jeff, for you to land a title sponsor, multi-year title sponsor, congratulations. I'm really proud of you. I think you do, outside of burning a 70-foot Muppet up in Santa Fe in early September, neck and neck, you and that are the best events in the state of New Mexico. So
thank you.
Thought I'd share that with you.
That was a lot of work by a lot of
I'm
people.
proud of you, man.
I appreciate it. A lot of work by a lot of people. And for those of you just joining us, don't know what he's saying. New Mexico Bowl, of which I am executive director. We announced a new title partner yesterday. Isleta Resort is our new title partner, and the game multi-year deal is the Isleta New Mexico Bowl, and it's something of which we're very proud to partner with such a wonderful local brand. And it's a big deal for our event and the stability of our event going forward. So thank you.
Awesome. Hey, I too make decisions in the May timeframe, and they don't come to fruition until mid-September, so don't feel bad. Hey, and there's no legalese in those decisions. The NCAA slate doesn't offer too much this weekend, right? I mean, this isn't whet my appetite. The NFL hurts. I know they struggle with the passing game. They've won 19 of the last 20 starts that in the games that he started. 19 of the last 20, and the one game they lost, and this is regular season games, is when he was coming off an injury. Almost 20 straight. I think the NFL record for straight wins is 22 by the New England Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. There's another quarterback that has won every game that he started and finished, and his name is Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. And every game that young man has started and finished in the NFL, he's won. Now, there's another 6th-round draft pick in the year 2000 that went on to become the greatest player in the history of the league. So this Brock Purdy, who led the NFL in passer rating last week, he may just be better than we think. And it's going to it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Now, the 5-star picks, they've been coagulating and percolating. I'm not going to unleash them. I like the lay of the land of the NFL season, get about 4 weeks in to remove all emotion. And it's a multivariate analysis that I usually use. Yep. But there's 3 games that really intrigue me real quick. The Ravens at the Bengals. I think that's a very intriguing game because the Bengals need to, after last week, they really need to play better. And I think that the Ravens are going to be better than people think. So that intrigues me. The 49ers at the Rams. NFL fans, you really want the Rams to be good this year because if you look at the 49ers schedule, if the Rams aren't good and Seattle doesn't present a challenge, the 49ers are going to win 14 games, if not 15, and they're going to get the number 1 seed. So Cowboy fans, take heed and pay attention. And then the last one, as the Crusher had predicted, the Jaguars are going to play in the AFC title game within 3 years of Lawrence being drafted. The Chiefs are going to the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to beat them. I think the Jaguars are going to play good defense. I think Lawrence gets better every week, and the Chiefs are still kind of figuring out things from injury and other things. So that's an intriguing game, and I think it's going to be very interesting. And that might decide who plays at home in the playoffs at the end of the year. So I hope you guys. By the way, Crusher used to pick his picks at about a 52 to 53% rate. Now we're seeing how difficult it is,
it's
as
hard,
I was
man.
mocked and made fun of.
It's really hard.
Hey, indeed. Hey, guys, thanks for letting me share a few thoughts.
Have a great weekend.
Enjoy
man.
the weekend.
See ya. No, it's really hard. I mean, we combined, the three of us, each of us picked 3 games off the cuff. What's your favorite 3? Not here, pick this game. Go on against spread, the number, over, under. And we went 2 and 7 combined. And we think we know what we're talking about, although we know we don't. We know we don't. All right, George Carter's going to be with us coming up at 8:30 this morning. George is the former Lobo linebacker who is the analyst for Lobo football with on the broadcast. I'll be the play-by-play guy on the Mountain West Network, and George is the color analyst. He is terrific. He was with us last Friday. He's going to be with us coming up at 8:30 to look at the big rivalry game tomorrow, Lobos and Aggies out at University Stadium. Stay with us. He's coming up in about 18 minutes from now. You know about our city. Great things, beautiful vistas, great people, wonderful food. It's just not known for safety and security. And so that's why I called IPS, International Protective Service. I called them years ago, and they come out and they patrol my home every day. You see them at businesses all over town. You see them at homes, and they're effective. It's affordable, private security. Aaron's business is to protect homes and businesses. He needs your help. If you're a former or retired police officer, if you've got military or security experience and you want to make our city a better place to live and work, fill out an application at ipsglobal.com. He's got world-class professionals who will train you to handle almost any situation. You'll work for a tremendous company, fair compensation, and you'll be doing wonderful things for our community. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, or you can fill it out online at ipsglobal.com. Join IPS if you want to make Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. In the morning, Taco Bell keeps it toned down and simple.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal,
a hoe and a sweet deal in the same segment. I don't know if I can handle all that. Does that make it a sweet hoe deal?
give me a hoe if you
Instead of a
got your
sweetheart?
funky
You know what I'm
bus
saying? Who's
fare.
gonna look at?
You guys have some kind of dive training or opera training or something, apparently, because I don't know how you do it like that.
I mean, you know,
Years and years and
years
years.
of hoeing. It's just years of hoeing. He just gets you there. That's a rivalry hoe. It feels like a Friday now, doesn't it?
A rivalry hoe.
That was
I
a
like
rivalry
that.
hoe.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Finally agree on one Edward thing, says the text line. Congratulations, Jeff. In honor of your achievement, maybe Edward will learn to deliver one good take instead of 10 superfluous ones. He had a couple good takes in there. He did. But thank you for that. It was a big day for New Mexico Bowl. And now Isleta New Mexico Bowl. And this was not lost on me. And JJ, you know the history of the bowl game. When the bowl game was started, DC, I don't know if you know this. I was working for Governor Bill Richardson on New Mexico Sports Authority. And we started the bowl game, and Governor Richardson was there the day we announced the game. And again, I'm not getting into politics. I don't care which side of the aisle you are on. But the irony was not lost on me yesterday that on the day that Governor Richardson of his funeral and Bill Clinton was in New Mexico to give the eulogy, it wasn't lost on me that we announced a title partnership to secure the future of the Isleta New Mexico Bowl on the day that Governor Richardson was laid to rest. It's I don't know, there was almost a little warmth to it. Does that feel weird? Is that the wrong word? This is a big deal to him. It was a big deal to our community. I worked for him, and yesterday was such a hard day for so many. So yeah, that wasn't lost on me. Hey, I just saw a social media thing on your quarterback for the Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson. Brett Favre was talking about Russell Wilson. I don't even know what the context was, but he said there's a reason Seattle got rid of him. He may have a little left in the tank, but I don't see it coming out. Do you buy into that whole thing? There's a reason Seattle, and I've heard of that take from a number of people. There's a reason Seattle got rid of him, and you guys are just a bunch of suckers.
It's very easy to say now, but I believe there was more than just they 100% knew before everyone else that Russ was done. I think there's chemistry issues. I think you could see probably some regression, just differences in what they wanted to do offensively versus Russell Wilson trying to go out there and cook all the time. So I think it was multiple factors that allowed Seattle to feel comfortable moving on from Russell Wilson. And then you go out there and you play that poorly.
Right.
And then it's easy to say, well, they knew before everyone else.
It's just really interesting listening to a lot of the former quarterbacks, a lot of the analysts just saying, well, Denver was suckers. There's a reason. Seattle saw something. There's a reason Seattle got rid of him. You don't get rid of a franchise quarterback. You don't get rid of – I mean, I heard the other day, well, they got a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm like, who? John Elway's still there? Russell Wilson's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, do you even – is that even a conversation? You're thinking about it. So it is. Hall of Fame quarterback?
Before he got to Denver.
But his whole career counts, doesn't it? He was on his way, and then he hit a freaking wall. Oh.
Brick wall.
Yeah. I got a Hall of Fame sweet deal for you. You go to our website right at 9 o'clock this morning. Go to sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. It is Dave's High Desert Grill. Josh is here. What's up, man? How you living?
Pretty good. How are y'all doing today?
Good to see you. I was up at your place on the east side, right there on Spain and Eubank relatively recently. I had my little girl in there with me. Saw you there, I think, and it's thriving. You got wonderful food. Tell us about what you got going on both locations.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good so far. Both locations, we're doing a brand new happy hour that we just started.
We like happy hour.
Yeah, happy hour is good. Is
that like tailgating?
I wish. Yeah. I don't know. You go out on our patio, could kind of be, I guess. Pull your truck up to the patio.
No
doubt. We got $5 local draft beers, $5 glasses of house wine, and we've got a bunch of appetizers on our happy hour menu for a very, very decent price.
Great home-cooked meal, comfort foods, prime choice cut burgers, Applewood smoked bacon, blue cheese, avocado, homemade onion rings. I always tell people, like, what is that place? I don't know. It's comfort food. It's everything, man. Like, the menu is so vast and good.
Yeah, it's we label it as American comfort food.
All right, I'm
got a little bit of everything for everybody. We got burgers, we got sandwiches, steaks, salads, you name it.
Yep.
If you're craving something, chances are we have it.
Well, put it on your lunch rotation. Where are your two locations?
So first location that you went to, 5200 Eubank Boulevard, right in the old Barley Room.
Yep.
That's how everybody seems to know it.
No, that's right. That place was popping for a while.
It was popping. Yeah, we're trying to get it just as popping. Yeah. We're doing good. Second location is 4th Street in Osuna, right behind the Walgreens, right there on 4th Street.
All right. And it's wonderful, and it's lunch, and it's dinner, and
brunch.
And brunch. Yeah, Sunday brunch is
don't
wonderful.
forget about our brunch. That's our most popular.
I'll bet. And the games are on.
And the games are on, yeah. If we don't have a game on for you, we'll put it on.
I think that's always one of those things, right? Especially this time of year. Even if you're going to dinner, let's go to dinner on Thursday night. Well, I mean, can I watch the game? Like I do.
Nope,
where are we going? Can I watch the game? Well, it's Wednesday night. Well, Conference USA games are on. Can I watch the game? There's always going to be something on.
Yeah, if we've got the channel, we've got it on for you.
All right, it's a big deal. It's Dave's High Desert Grill, $50 for just $25. The way I look at it, that's $25 worth of free grub or drink at Dave's High Desert Grill. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. Do it at 9 o'clock because they're going to disappear quickly. And again, your website, if people want to check you guys out, is
Dave'sHighDesertGrill.com. Pretty simple.
Is there an apostrophe in the Dave's? Dave?
There is not. No.
There's no. Just Dave's.
Dave's. Yep.
Dave'sHighDesertGrill.com. Josh,
Yes,
always
sir.
good to see you.
All right, guys. Always good to see you.
Well, George Carter, former Lobo linebacker and analyst on the television broadcast with me for the big game tomorrow, is with us next. We're talking Lobos and Aggies on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and last night football.
We're all moving a little faster now. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm just telling you. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, DC. Big rivalry game tomorrow. Lobos and Aggies. Aggies and Lobos. Rio Grande rivalry. Battle of I-25. The rivalry of enchantment. I don't know. Pick your name. It just should be fun tomorrow. And it's a game that means a lot to a lot of people around here. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, DC. We'll get to your phone calls coming up in a little bit. If you can't get out there, you can listen to the game over on News Radio KKOB. Robert Portnoy and Dontrell Moore will have the call. And if you'd like to watch it on the visual medium, I will have the play-by-play alongside my broadcast partner, George Carter, the former Lobo linebacking great. That will be on the Mountain West Network, and we're on Crime TV as well. Yeah, I understand. George Carter is with us on The Sports Animal. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, gents. How are you guys? I'm doing fantastic.
It's a big week, isn't it? Do you feel different this week?
Huge. Oh, man. I've been thinking about it all week. It's the first thing I think about in the morning, man.
Is it really?
I'm not even playing on Saturday, so I can't imagine how those guys are feeling on both sides of the ball.
What was your record against the Aggies when you played?
5-0.
Really?
Never lost to those guys. In my 5 years in the program, never lost to those guys, and I wear that with a patch of pride on my shoulder.
There's a bunch of you that do, huh?
For sure.
It meant, how long did it take for it to mean something to you?
I think for me, being from Albuquerque in the state of New Mexico, it always meant something. And once you got into the program, and I think particularly under the watch of Rocky Long, there was a level of dislike for that program that I had never really experienced before, right? And I think that definitely comes through. And I think knowing that Coach Gonzalez is a product of Coach Rocky Long, I would say that dislike probably runs equally as deep, if not more, with him as well.
When you played, like you grew up in it, and I'm sure it's accelerated when you played in it. But the guys who didn't grow up in it, when you were in the locker room, how long did it take for them? Did you guys talk about it? Did you have to explain it to them, or did they figure it out?
We did, man. And I mean, I think, it was kind of one of those things where it was generally the job of the older guys, right, to tell you the stories of the battles and just, the battles in the trenches, and the hardest hit I ever took or the hardest hit I ever gave was in that game, right? And regardless of the records of both those football teams, it was always a competitive match, always a battle. And I think, that is kind of part of the culture, and that's just part of the prestige of the program, right? And just the history of the program and the traditions of it.
He's former Lobo linebacker George Carter, 5-0 in his playing time against the Aggies, and the analyst on the television broadcast tomorrow. He's with us on The Sports Animal.
Undefeated, never lost.
That's right.
Yep.
Him and
never
lost.
Never lost.
George, is there a line, though, when it comes to a rivalry? How much do you want to put it out there? Do you want to be like Jay Norvell and putting everything on the line, or do you still want to be playing it close to the best in a week like this?
Yeah, man, for me, I think it kind of just depends on styles, right? But for me, it's keeping it close to the chest, right? And I'm gonna let it all show on Saturday when I step foot on that field, right? And so I tend to keep it pretty bottled up. Funny enough, I always played my best games against New Mexico State. So for me, man, I keep it close to the chest, and I let my plan do the talking on the field on Saturday.
Coming off a game like Tennessee Tech, where the Lobos, Danny said it, the players felt it, like they expected to light that team up. How do you take that confidence and put it ahead to a game where this is going to be a different test. This is going to be your first like opponent of the season.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you said it, JJ, right? Like they met the expectations. That football team did exactly what they were supposed to do last week against Tennessee Tech. Now, where you start getting into the nuances of the game, in my opinion, that was the most complete football game that we've seen from a Danny Gonzalez coached UNM team over time, right? Throughout 4 quarters. I mean, historically, we've seen this team drop off in the third and the fourth quarter. Last week, it was the exact opposite. Even when the backups came in, right? I mean, there was a moment in the broadcast where Jeff was like, well, when do you start to take your foot off the pedal? And I think the fourth quarter had just started, and UNM was just dropping bombs down the field, right? And so, I think at the end of the day, man, it's about execution and doing what you are supposed to do, right? And I think, this has kind of been a theme of mine, regardless if it's Tennessee Tech or New Mexico State. You go in there with the mindset that you're going to dominate and you're going to execute at a really high level. And, regardless of who's in front of you, things should take care of themselves if you do those things.
I thought you had a great answer to that, too. It was whatever it was going into the fourth quarter, and I asked that question when you get guys out. And they're throwing balls. I think Tab Scott was in at that point throwing down the field. And your answer was, look, man, we're out playing football. I'm not, if I'm out on the field playing football, I'm going as hard as I can, and because I know those other guys are. And if not, we're gonna hurt them even more. Yeah, I mean, and they still had a quarter of football left to play, right? And so, again, just kind of talking about not giving yourself the ability to drop off, right, or lose intensity. We didn't see that last week with this team, and I think that's very different, right? And to me, that also speaks to a level of maturity that this team has on it with a lot of older guys. I mean, we're in a time, and this doesn't get talked a lot about in college football, but you've got a lot of guys who are playing super senior seasons, right? So they've been in programs for 5-6 years. They've played a lot of football, and I think we're seeing the product of that with this UNM football team. There's a high level of maturation. George Carter's with us, former Lobo linebacker and analyst on the television broadcast for Lobos and Aggies tomorrow. So this game particularly, and never mind the rivalry for a second, Lobos versus Aggies, football team versus football team, it feels like it's a pretty even match. Vegas thinks it's pretty even. Aggies are coming off a loss at Liberty. They're coming across the country. They've got a quarterback. And you get this now, right? You've met these guys over the years. A guy from Albuquerque who wasn't recruited by the Lobos who's playing for those guys now. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's pretty good. Yeah, and Diego Pavia is a dog, man. I mean, he just is, right? And, I mean, the kid's a winner. He won in high school. He won in junior college, right? I mean, for better or worse, he helped the Aggies manufacture their first bowl season in years last year. Right, and so we've got a kid who just comes in here and plays hard, and guess what? He elevates the play of all of the teammates around him as well, right? I mean, I think that's what you have to love about someone like Diego Pavia, and he's from Albuquerque, guys. So, again, he's coming in here like, look, I've got to put on a show for my people, right? And don't get me wrong, like, it's somewhat of a selfish thought, but it's also not. And that is the level of passion that you're going to get in this football game tomorrow, particularly from the guys who are from here. No doubt.
Now, George, we have been, talking with Lobos throughout the week. We were talking with Christian Ellis yesterday, and one of the things that we kind of asked him too is how much more confidence does the defense get from knowing that this offense can make some plays and knowing that a quarterback like Dillon Hopkins is going to be able to put players in position to succeed? How big is that for this year's team? Knowing that, hey, defensively, they don't have to be perfect. Maybe they actually have some time to go through some growing pains with what this offense could potentially be.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very new feeling around here, right? I mean, even going back to the days that I was here, JJ, I mean, there was always somewhat of that imbalance, right? Where all of the focus and emphasis was on the defense, and the defense was constantly expected to win games. And that's a very different story than we've seen in a long time. And I think, this kind of just goes into seeing UNM put together a complete game last week. I mean, they're playing, if they have the ability to, they could potentially be playing some very complimentary football here, right? Where the offense is doing a nice job of playing keep away. I mean, we saw some really sustained drives last week. I mean, there was a stat that went out, and I think, Jeff, you mentioned this, drives of 87, 88, and 89 yards, right, to start out this season. And so that's what this defense needs. And if they can chew up clock and just pound the ground and then open things up when they need to, that's exactly what this defense needs, right? Because then if they're able to, if the offense is able to put up some points and get ahead, then we could just bring the house with the defense, which is what this defense is built to do. So again, going back to that idea of being able to play very complementary football, I think is pretty exciting for this program.
You talk about pounding the ground, and they've got a stable of running backs. I went back and watched the game to critique, our work a little bit, and you got 5 running backs. Christian Washington didn't even play, and
right
on 2 of Bill's runs, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt's long runs. You're saying he's special. He's special. Like, there have been some good running backs around here. 2 games in, he looked good against A&M. He looked sensational against Tennessee Tech. Feels like they found something in Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, a 5th-year kid out of Alabama State.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's brilliant. And there's 2 runs this year, so far that I could say just wow, right? I mean, the touchdown run against Texas A&M where he shook someone in the hole, and it wasn't even really a shake; it was more of a sidestep. And you can't coach that.
And that's against
right?
A&M, man. That ain't against Cibola High School. Now, that's Texas A&M.
Right, that was Texas A&M,
quarter.
and then he pulled away, right? I mean, he literally pulled away from that defense. And then we saw something very similar last week on that first long touchdown run where that kid is running full speed. He puts his foot in the ground and sidesteps and makes the kid fall down, right? I mean, again, you can't coach things like that. That is innate, natural ability. And, you give that kid an O-line as UNM has, and yeah, he can do some things, man. And then, it doesn't stop with him though, right? I mean, Dorian Lewis was incredible last week, man. I mean, Henry.
Henry,
man. I mean, nice. I just offensively, there's so many weapons, and just going back to the same theme, man. Of this offense is just so dynamic. It's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting.
I'm not going to ask you to pick a winner, but how do you feel? I'm asking you not as an analyst, as an alum. Are you nervous for these games? Are you confident for this game? Because JJ has said, and I don't think he's wrong, this game means so much for both programs because they both feel that they can play in December, and this really is a pivotal game for both programs.
Yeah, I'm nervous, man. As if I was playing tomorrow. I mean, I can't tell you, which way this game is going to go, and I feel like that every Saturday, right? I mean, until you strap it up and put your helmet on, you have no idea. But I think both of these teams are going to be locked in, and I think we are in for a battle and a show tomorrow night, gentlemen. I really do.
Worthy of a tie this week? Should we put on a tie? I mean, we went open collar last week.
I think so.
Yeah, I'll wear a tie.
I mean, I've got a pretty nice suit that I'm pulling out. I'm wiping off tomorrow, guys. So it's come check us out in the booth because we're going to be looking fly. That's for sure.
See you at 2:00 today. You are terrific, man. He is George Carter, the former Louisville linebacker, and he's the analyst on the television broadcast on the Mountain West Network and Crime TV. I'm just there to do some play-by-play and let George go to work. Looking forward to working with you again tomorrow, my friend. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Same, partner. All right, guys. Have a good day.
See you. He's terrific. George Carter is he gets it. He sees stuff. He for a guy that does it.
ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
products and service for your pets because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it for a development.
Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. All right, so you got the big robbery. Let me get you Jason's email because I think it's, it's Jason email week, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Except for I can't sign into my Outlook. So I'll get it to you later because all of a sudden it just kicked me out. And it says approve sign-in and I'm trying to.
Time a game. We just won a bowl game. Nope. Then you go into Liberty. You shut out in the second half. Like this game for New Mexico State, you got to get to 7 if they want to get to a bowl game this year. And it's huge. And then the same thing for the Lobos. And it's not like I didn't make any of this up.
Gets in that school located on the corner of Central and University. If lessons are learned in defeat, Lobo football has some PhDs suiting up in coaching. In Lobo land, you have a football coach who believes that gassing up at the Valero in Las Cruces somehow impacts Aggie athletics financially. Who knows? Maybe that tank of gas would have made the score 22-9 instead of what it was. What was the score last year? Anyone? On their personalities. Basketball joke. How do you keep UNM basketball out of your yard? Put up a sign that says NCAA third round. Ba-dum-bum. What would Lobo fan do when they see Lobo football in a bowl? He says flood. Well, it'll be Ryder Cup. And does he believe that because Dustin Johnson went to live, that's why DJ's not on the Ryder Cup team? Should he be? That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Thursday night and Monday night and Sunday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors.
Things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Well, they tell me 80 degrees today. Mid-September to early November, there's the best time of the year around here weather-wise. The golf courses are great, and none better than the beautiful Sandia Golf Club. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. This section of the program is brought to you by the Sandia Golf Club. And the director of golf out at the beautiful Sandia Golf Club is our good friend, Nick Nee. How you living?
I'm living well. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I was going to reach out to your Uncle Danny today, my former broadcast partner when I did Aggie games on the big rivalry. How does the rivalry play Lobos Aggies in the Nee household?
Yeah, good question. What a big week for state of New Mexico, Albuquerque, the Rio Grande rivalry. You got, you guys alluded to it perfectly this morning. You got two teams that are thinking they can play in December and play in a bowl game again. So, with Uncle Dan being a former player of the Aggies, we certainly sway that way down south.
Yeah, but I did games with him for years, and it took me a second because he refers to the Aggies as we, right? And it took me a second, and I'm like, you know what? I get it, man. When you strap it on and you play 4 or 5 years and you blood, sweat, and guts and tears and pour everything into it, you can we all you want when you've done that, huh?
Absolutely, and 100%. I'll never forget, playing youth football, and he's our defensive coordinator and telling us stories about playing against Nebraska, and you definitely earn the right to say we, and hopefully it's a great football game and entertaining, and another chapter in this rivalry.
All right, Ryder Cup's in 2 weeks. Teams are set. Dustin Johnson came out this week, and I know where you are, and we've had a lot of conversations on LIV and PGA. DJ says that if he had not defected to LIV, that he feels he would be on the Ryder Cup team and should be on the Ryder Cup team. He didn't have a great year, at least, and really, all common golf fan sees is what he did in the majors. Should DJ be on the Ryder Cup team, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's an interesting take. It's hard to say because the guys that made the team, played their way in. And, obviously you have the 11 and 12 spot that are controversial, and that's every year. But to say that you should be on the team, you had your opportunity, I would say. You had your opportunity in majors. And I don't know that even on LIV, if you look at his stats and look at his play on that tour, I don't know that it warrants even consideration to be on the Ryder Cup this year. But it's hard to say without him playing the schedule and playing the major events the way he did this year that he would have a chance.
He had top 10 finish at the U.S. Open. That was the best of the lot. He tied for 48th of the Masters, 55th in the PGA, and missed the cut at the Open. And was okay on LIV. I think maybe, this year, this wasn't your year. But by the same token, you look at Justin Thomas's year, and you could say, well, he wasn't all that great either, right?
Absolutely, and you certainly have that argument. You have that side of it that maybe JT didn't deserve it, based off of his play. But you look at him in Ryder Cup history. You look at him in terms of the team room. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, I hope Zach, leaned on the automatic qualifiers that got into the Ryder Cup team and who they wanted to play with, because that is a huge factor in team golf. You got to be comfortable with who you play because it's an uncomfortable situation. I can only imagine playing in front of that crowd. Now you have to go across to Rome and play out there on foreign soil, so to speak. So hopefully leaned on him. JT obviously has the most controversial captain's pick out there, but what JT's done in the last 2-3 years, I think he deserves it. And I think how he is in the team room will certainly play a huge factor in the pairings that Zach puts together.
Nick Nee, director of golf, Sandia Golf Club, is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Nick, as we still try to figure out this future partnership of how LIV and the PGA Tour are going to work together, what do you think is a fair or right way to start handling these things when it comes to rankings, not just Ryder Cup teams and all these European teams, but who gets to qualify for major events? Like, is there a way to figure this out?
Better be.
Yeah, great question. Right now, all you have is World Golf Ranking points for them to figure it out. And unfortunately, until, I don't want to say that there has to be an even playing field, but it has to be consistent. If the guys on the PGA Tour are earning these points based off of the requirements of the 72-hole events, it's not a shotgun format. Everyone starts on the same hole, finishes on the same hole. You're not starting, on the hardest hole and then working your way to the easier holes in a shotgun format. Right now, that's got to be the only way, because you have to meet the requirements in order to get points, and until you do, I don't know that you can earn them. Those guys have the opportunity to go play the Asian Tour and play some of the other events that do earn points, but until LIV adjusts their starting format and until they can meet the requirements set forth by the World Golf Rankings, I don't see how they can get points and figure it out.
Segment's brought to you by the San Diego Golf Club. We're playing golf. It's perfect now. What do you got as a golf tip?
Yeah, I got a good one. We worked a lot on kind of path and a couple different full swings, but another one that you can do full swing or half swing if you're hitting pitch shots. Just get a shoebox while you're out there, even in your living room. And what you're going to do is just put it outside of your lead leg, so left leg for a right-handed player and right leg for a left-handed player. You're just going to set it, maybe 1 or 2 inches outside of your ankle and just stand it up. And what you want to do is be able to turn inside that shoebox. You don't want to lean and knock it over. That's just creating a swaying movement. We want to be rotational, and that's going to allow us to have good power as we combine it with the path that we worked on last week. Now as we turn and are effective in how we turn through the golf shot, you're going to post up on that left leg, and you should feel almost as if that shoebox is extended as a wall, and you're going to post on a finish on that. Again, we don't want to knock the shoebox over. We don't want to sway, because we're going to change where the club bottoms out. We're going to change where we effectively transfer power. And we want to be rotational to turn that power with good path, and you'll hit great golf shots.
I love how you use household items to make my golf game better. I freaking love it. It's just so good. All right. SanDiegoGolf.com has everything. What do you got going on? Because, again, this is the best time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's none better right now to play golf with overnight lows, the mid and the 80s. You got the best time, best 6-7 weeks to play. You got Balloon Fiesta around the corner. Our daily deals, like I've talked about, sign up for the text club, you get the best rates. We'll let you know when tee times are available. Twilight starts at 3 o'clock right now. As Balloon Fiesta is around the corner, so our holiday parties and things on the horizon as well. We have the event center that is the first class and best facility to host any event that you're looking to host, whether it's holiday party or Christmas parties or weddings and things of that nature. You can visit us at SanDiegoGolf.com. And then stop by the grill. Try our brownie skillet that's on special still, which will be our signature dessert as we move into our fall menu.
Oh, yeah, buddy. All right, enjoy the weekend. I know you will. Thanks for spending some time with us. We'll catch you next week.
Absolutely. Appreciate the time. Have a great weekend.
Be well. Nick Nee, Director of Golf at the San Diego Golf Club, and it's ideal time. I just love how he uses just common household items, stuff that you can do in your house to work on your swing, and it works. It works. He's as good as there is as a teacher.
You're absolutely right. Making the game accessible by using a shoebox or a stick or something like that, it helps everyone. It is amazing. The guy's a great teacher. Yeah. I tell you the truth, I wish I played football for him too, because he knows what he's talking about.
He's got a big one tonight, and he coaches defensive backs at La Cueva. They won one last week.
I tell you, though, he brought up the holiday party.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I bet they throw it down out there.
Yeah, they do
I bet
right.
it is so nice.
They do it right. All right, come on in at 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Sid says, Mr. Symbieta got the rabbit ears locked in and ready to go. Crime TV, channel 7.3. Last week, Mr. Carter looked like a giant next to you. Sid. He is a giant. I mean, I'm 5'10", 190-ish pounds. I'm an average-sized human. He's a big dude, man, and he's still in shape. Yeah, he does. Ron's ready to watch. He says, getting ready to watch the game with you and Hunter. That would be George. I'm at the store getting my footy snacks. Can I vent, Jeffy? There's a big sign with flashing lights. Sale, $1.50. Problem is 2 years ago, regular price was $1. Even watching footy at home is getting expensive. Ron, everything's gotten expensive. Remember how much gas was 2 years ago? Mortgage rates? Milk? Eggs? Sorry, man. But have fun. Enjoy the game. When we get back, what does J.J. Buck have in common with Joe Burrow as they get ready for the big game this weekend? J.J. Buck and Joe Burrow have this in common. Next, on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Davis going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point there.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid on a going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that? Ethan Olguin. My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto made one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Is that Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What
there.
a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown that punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
Back.
No! Laqueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's
Joe
Pet
Burrow?
Emporium.
JJ Buck. What's up, dude? How are you, JJ Buck?
Mate.
We're hitting a big football weekend. What does JJ Buck have in common with Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow arrived for his big press conference Wednesday after losing their opener 24-3 to the Browns with a new haircut. JJ Buck shows up today. Big pregame show tomorrow, Lobos versus Aggies. With a freshie. Are you freshie inspired by Joe Burrow? Of
course.
Makes sense, dude.
Can you not want to be the second best quarterback in the NFL?
I mean, and get a $55 million contract. Quote Burrow, when you have a game like that on Sunday, you got to go out and win a game. You got to go out and get one this week. We're focused on being 1-0. Got to be 1-0 and take it from there. New haircut's going to help. New haircut going to help you with the big pregame show, you and Ned?
Of course.
All right. Look good.
Feel good.
Yeah.
Look good. Broadcast good.
That's right. That's right. I'm down. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's go. We're headed into the big game, big rivalry week. It says here on the text line, sorry, Jason. 75-34-1 is still 75-34-1, no matter how you want to slice it. And vacated third-round NCAAs from 30-plus years ago are, well, vacated. UNM has a lopsided lead to head against you in that sport, too, by the way. Rudy, what says you? You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning. I was looking, to try to help Jason out for their last consensus All-American, and New Mexico State doesn't have one. I was looking for their last first ballot National Football Hall of Fame, and they don't have one. So knock it off, Jason. You guys are a ragtag bunch. And by the way, while we're at it, you heard about when Pistol Pete went to see Lobo Louie at his lawn service, mower service, right?
No, I missed that.
You heard
one.
about this?
No, I missed it.
Yeah, so Pistol Pete says, Lobo Louie, I got me some trees I got to cut down, and I need me a good saw. So Lobo Louie says, look at this one. It's the best power saw on the market. It'll cut down 10 trees in every hour. So Pistol Pete lays down his money, and 2 weeks Pistol Pete comes back and he says, Lobo Louie, I want me a refund. Lobo Louie says, why? He says, well, I worked and worked and worked, and I sawed all day, and I could only chop down half a tray. So Lobo Louie says, hey, give me that saw. So he starts it up, and Pistol Pete says, what's that noise, Lobo Louie?
Thank you, Rudy.
See you Saturday.
See ya. My favorite part of it was him doing Pistol Pete. It's kind of funny, right? Aggies don't know how to start up the chainsaw. You get it? Yeah, I think you got it. All right. What kind of crowd do you think we get?
Hopefully, I don't know, what's a fair number?
I mean, 30 would be great, right?
30 would be awesome.
30 would be wonderful.
Like to be in there and be like, okay, there is 30,000 people.
Yeah, 30 would be really nice. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. All right. If you want to get on the NFL too, by the way, we had one last night. Eagles 34, Vikings 28. DeAndre Swift, 175 yards on the ground and a touchdown. And the big win for the Eagles. Miguel, you're calling from Phoenix. Thanks for listening in Phoenix. What's up, Miguel?
Hey, guys. I always call during the big rivalry, if you want to call it that. Lobos are going to spank the Aggies. I don't even question it. Let me tell you something. Aggies need to be spanked. I can't believe their AD down there still has a job after all the fiasco that basketball team went through last year. So I got no love for the Aggies. I'm rooting for the Lobos, and I don't even think it's going to be that close.
All right.
I know they're going into a bigger conference. They got Jerry Kill, who's a good coach. I got no disrespect towards their coaches or their players, but they're not coming into Albuquerque. They're not coming in. They're not coming to the University Stadium and winning no game tomorrow. It's not happening.
All right, Miguel, appreciate you. Be well. Enjoy the weekend. Miguel called us from Phoenix. He says it's not even going to be close. Not even close. Lay the 1.5 and take your home team is what he's saying. All right, I think it might be close. Don't you?
I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Because there's going to be plays made by both offenses. It's the first time I've looked at this game in a while, and I expect offense. I expect the quarterbacks to play well, and I actually think that the Lobos could have the better quarterback on the day.
It's interesting to say that, right? Lynn says, I'm concerned about attendance, Jeff. I don't buy the hype of 30,000 plus with two squads with combined 0 FBS wins. She says, I'll take 25 grand. tell you what, 25 grand might look okay in there too.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. Howard, what says you? You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Howard.
Well, guys, got Miguel calling in from Phoenix, talking about spanking the Aggies. I don't know. You never know. Jason might be into that. He might be threatening him with a good time. So easy, Miguel. So
thank you, Howie.
It's going to be painful. It's going to be over tomorrow, and I'd like to see the aftermath on Monday and see. I'm expecting I'm hoping for a Lobo victory. So I'd like to see Jason at least follow up with an email, win, lose, or draw.
He will.
Because I have been loving this all week long. It has been very entertaining, gentlemen. Go Lobos. Have a good weekend.
See you, Howard. I got no doubt, Jason. Now, one thing, like Jason runs it, he runs it on a regular level, right? And it's the same theme with a different theme, if that makes sense, right? It's the same point with a different theme. But one thing Jason does do is come in, win or lose. Remember when he had to come in? I think I've been listening or reading Jason emails for 15 years on this show. And I think he's called one time. He had a bet with somebody that he would come in, and the only time we ever heard Jason, I think is right, when he had to come in and sing the Lobo fight song when they lost, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I will give him that. I think he comes in, win or lose. Larry, how you living? Good morning. Hello, Larry.
Hello. Yes, sir. One comment I have is I really like our football team, and I think they're going to surprise some people this year. I think they're going to be all right. But another question I have is, what's going on, if you guys know, what's going on with that annoying big yellow banner at the football games that supposedly hiding the offensive coordinator? It's too high. If you sit low enough, it distracts you from watching the game. So I just kind of know what's going on with that flag. Do you guys know?
Well, I think it's to block the other team from stealing their signals. They signal them in. Are you saying you sit like in the first few rows and you can't see the game?
I sit in row 20, and it's that thing is too high.
Really?
And yeah, I mean it's irritating. It's annoying to have that flag come up every time they're on offense. And another thing is, they haven't been stealing signs for 50 years. They've been playing football here at University Stadium for 50 years, and nobody stole any signals. So why are they paranoid about that now?
Yeah, that's interesting. Let me give you a suggestion, Larry. That's the first person that I've heard say that. But I'd give a call over to the athletic office and say, hey, I'm a season ticket holder, and I sit in row 20, and I can't see, and I don't know what they're going to do about it, if anything. But that's the first time I've heard somebody say that. But if that's something that bothers you, I'd let them know over at the athletic department, the football office. All right.
But it is to hide. It is to hide the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's what it is, to hide the signal.
Right?
Yeah, so they don't steal the signals. Yeah.
That's the silliest thing I've ever heard of. They haven't been stealing signals for 50 years, and all of a sudden, 2023, they start stealing signals.
Yeah, that's right. That's
new age stealing. It doesn't make any sense. But what they could do is maybe make it a little lower.
Yeah,
not as high.
Yeah, give them a suggestion.
It'll still hide the offensive coordinator because he's kind of short anyway. So.
And then you can see the damn game. All right, Larry, enjoy it. Thanks for the call. See you. That's the first I've heard of that one. But I guess if you're sitting down there right? People always say you want to sit in the first row. You don't want to sit in the first row at a football game. You must see up a little higher. And what's a good seat is the end zone for that. I mean, you can see the whole thing. I learned this when I was a VP of the hockey team. And I would sit with the GM and watch games. And, a dude who played hockey forever and played in the Olympics and knows the game. And we'd sit in the end zone. We'd sit up in they're not called end zones, obviously, but you get it. We'd sit behind the net up high. And that's how I learned the game. He would show me how plays were developing, how they should be. He's like, everybody wants to sit at the 50-yard line, as they say. Oh, come on, man. I'm going to take you to the best seats in the house, eh? And we'd go up there and we'd sit there and he explained the game to me. You can see the whole thing develop up there.
That's actually, for my tickets for the Avalanche,
yeah.
I'm in the 300 level. I'm a little more in the corner, not right behind the net, but it's the same thing. Like, you can see the entire game unfold, and you really learn what's going on.
100%.
It's a different perspective.
It is. All right, you want to go red zone when we come back?
Yeah, let's go to the red zone.
DC's put it together coming into the second NFL weekend of the season. We're going in the red zone. He's got stuff like, who are you more worried about? Rank these teams. What storyline is this? And what should you expect from that? Get it all? Well, you will when you come back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal is your home for Sunday night and Monday night and last night football.
London's calling, and the Sports Animal has a daily.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know
95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All right, big weekend. Raiders, Bills, Chiefs, Jaguars. That's kind of the game of the weekend, isn't it? Rams, Niners, Cowboys, Jets. Let's go into the red zone. Get you ready for the big weekend.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, we have a tale of 2 weekends brewing here. DeAndre Swift had a game last night on Thursday Night Football. Swift ran for 175 yards and a touchdown on 25 carries, including a crucial 43-yard sprint late in the fourth quarter. This comes a week after he had 1 carry for 3 yards in Philly's Week 1 win. With so many questions in the Eagles' backfield, it's hard to guess who's getting the rock next. So moving forward, what do you expect from the Philly backfield, and who will be the RB1 at the end of the year?
DeAndre Swift. He's got a huge lead on everyone else with his performance last night, and I think he showed Philadelphia he can handle a workload performance. He did not come off the field. The only time he came off the field, he had to get something fixed out of with his cleat or something about his ankle. Rashad Penny came in there, and then DeAndre Swift came right back on. You're going to see Kenneth Gainwell. You're going to see Boston Scott, but DeAndre Swift showed he can handle the load for this offense, and that is huge because it's just another playmaker for the Eagles.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he is stepped. Now, I think you're going to see some shuffling. I don't think it's going to be an every week thing with him. And Kenneth Gainwell had the lead going into this game, and he didn't play because of injuries, so they went to DeAndre Swift. I think you're going to see your Rashad Penny moments. I think you're going to see a lot of Kenneth Gainwell, but if he stays healthy, I think DeAndre Swift's your guy. I think that's why they went out and got him.
2nd and goal.
Ready, down, put.
Last year, the Vikings won their one-score games and ended the season with 13 wins. Kirk Cousins has been putting up big numbers so far this year, 72.7% completion percentage, 708 yards throwing, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, but he's yet to get a win. After starting 0-2, what is the biggest on-field issue you see in Minnesota?
Defense. They gave up 259 yards rushing yesterday. They couldn't stop Baker Mayfield on a drive the week before when it mattered. In fact, he's the guy who ran over a linebacker to get a first down. I mean, to me, stop someone. They're going to score points. They got weapons. I'm not even worried about their running game. I think Alexander Madison's going to be fine. Yeah, they ran for 28 yards, but they only ran the ball 8 times. I'm not worried about them scoring points. They got to stop someone.
Hold on to the football. Hold on to the football. Stop turning it over. Stop putting it on the ground. They were inches away from being up 14-10 at half. Instead, they were down 13-7, and that's when the momentum got away from them. They hold on to the football. They can win that game at Philadelphia, but they didn't, and they lost.
3rd and goal.
All right, so let's check the panic meter. On NFL Network's Total Access, the crew debated 4 teams and how panicked they should be after losing in Week 1. Those teams were the Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, and Seahawks. How do you rank these teams on the panic meter, most to least, and why?
Most to least, it's just opposite order. It's Seattle, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Kansas City. 0 panic. What are you panicking about with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City? Nothing. In Buffalo, Josh Allen is going to find a way to win games. The Steelers, such a tough division. Is Kenny Pickett going to be that guy? I think we got a little overzealous in preseason. And I'm panicking in Seattle because Geno Smith, it's just one season they're banking on, and they don't have any offensive tackles.
I'm close to you, but I got Pittsburgh as number 1 because I think they got a question at quarterback as much as they were trying to convince the world they love Kenny Pickett. I think they're trying to convince themselves at the same time. Deontay Johnson's out for multiple weeks, which is their best receiver. Pickens wasn't really there. They didn't run the ball well. They got now, granted, they played the Niners last week. But of all these teams, they looked the worst. And I think they're still trying to convince themselves. I think that. Now, they may have played the best opposition, but they looked horrible. I think Seattle's number 2 because I agree with you on the Geno Smith thing. As much as they had a full season of good Geno, there's a career of that other Geno that they got to worry about that you saw glimpses of. The Rams pantsed them. And the freaking Rams went up there and pantsed them. I'm not super worried about the Bills. I think Josh Allen was the issue, and I think you can reel him in, and I'm not worried about Kansas City at all. So I think it's Pittsburgh, Seattle, the Bills, and Kansas City.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, there are a lot of new and unanswered questions about both teams and players after Week 1 in the NFL. What storyline or lines intrigue you the most coming up in Week 2?
Does Joe Burrow's haircut make him better because they got a big game against the Ravens and they were not good? And while you're not panicking and nobody's put him on the panic list, if they lose to the Ravens and go 0-2, all of a sudden you're going to start asking questions. So I want to see the Bengals. It's a big game early for them. It's a division game against a good Ravens team. I want to see how the Seahawks bounce back on the road against the Lions team. The Seahawks are playing with both starting tackles out, and when we talked about Geno and those issues, and it's not the Rams. Rams will get beat. They always get beat by the Niners. But I want to see what the Jets look like against that Cowboy defense moving forward with Zach Wilson. If he has a game this week, he shuts everybody up.
Justin Fields. Justin Fields. Chicago at Tampa Bay? Is that offense going to start to show some progress? Is Justin Fields going to look improved as a passer? You traded for DJ Moore. You got off the number 1 overall pick. The Chicago Bears had the number 1 overall pick in this past draft, and they believed in Justin Fields. Now that offense has to show some progress in the passing game. And speaking of passers, Josh Allen, can he rein himself in a little bit? He's not going to change overnight. He is new era Brett Favre. He is a gunslinger. He's going to turn the football over, but they are heavy favorites at home, 8.5-point favorites. Can that offense show some explosiveness and bounce back? Because they're a team that should be contending to play in an AFC championship game. And I'm really intrigued about Miami at New England. It's another statement opportunity for the Dolphins, for the world to believe in Tua. And Bill Belichick versus Mike McDaniel, I am in for that matchup.
Yeah, that's good stuff that you came up with in the red zone today. I think there's some really good ones that are on the board, and you can make a case for every one of these NFL games. I want to see what the Raiders do on the road, right? It's all about the Bills, and can they respond? Well, here's an opportunity for the Raiders. Jim Garoppolo wins. They're 8.5-point dogs on the road against a Bills team that's wounded, right? What are the Raiders? I love the Seattle game against the Lions. I love the Bengals and Ravens. Chargers going at the Titans, dude. I mean,
it's
theoretically,
NFL. There's not a game that you don't like.
No, that's right. There's not a game you don't like. I'll watch every damn game. What's your favorite game of the weekend? Do you have something you're looking forward to?
They all look good, but I will say the Cowboys defense was so fast and so good last week. That Jets-Cowboys game is really interesting because the Jets look really strong too on defense, and I'm not calling for a huge upset, but the one I'm looking at says 9 points, and I'm just thinking the Jets defense is too good to go down.
I think it all comes down to, I think people are wondering how the Jets are going to score.
And that's fair. That's really fair because that's a great question.
Well, how are the Jets? I mean, are they going to run the ball? Do you believe Breece Hall is going to run crazy like he did last week? The answer is probably no, right? And is Zach Wilson going to have time to throw the ball? And that's where, and when he does, how do you trust his decisions on the road against this defense? Now, it's going to be a different Zach Wilson than you saw, I believe, last year and even last week, because Zach Wilson's going to get the reps this week with the ones. And so it's more of a prep that's headed towards him. This is a fascinating next 3 to 4 weeks for Zach Wilson. This is a career-defining stretch for that young man who was second overall pick, kind of got a reprieve when they brought in Aaron Rodgers. You're like, what do you mean? He got benched. Yeah, but he got to play behind this Hall of Famer and learn from this Hall of Famer, and it was going to be kind of a almost a gap year for him, right? Now he's thrown back in the mix. This is career defining for him. Do you think that's saying too much? Because I don't know.
How is it not?
No.
Like you're a team that went from, oh my goodness, what are they going to do, to Aaron Rodgers showing up and people think he can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so now that you're that guy, they're just like, oh, can you even get to the playoffs?
That's right. That's right. And when we come back, 3 for all, we're going to give you just 3 random games that to show you how hard it is to bet. We were in 2-7 last year. Bet against us. Take these. Go against us. Go to Isleta and make some money. We'll do that when we come back and get you set for the weekend on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. You're home for Monday night and Sunday night and Thursday night football. You ready for Balloon Fiesta? You ready for family coming to town? Get your car clean before all that chaos. Call my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They will get your car looking, feeling, smelling like brand new. You don't have the time? I don't either. They'll make the time for you. What does that mean? They come to you. While you don't have the time, while your car's in the parking lot and you're working, they're out there detailing your vehicle. Inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, under the seats, wherever and whenever it's convenient. When they're done, it looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. On the Spot Automotive Detailing offers a 10% discount for our military and for teachers. Call them 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859 or book online at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
The Commanders on the road getting 3.5.
I am taking the Packers as a 1.5 dog at the Falcons. Packers look great. Falcons look bad.
I like that a lot. -1.5 at ATL. All right, what's number 2 for you?
Oh, give me Denver and 3.5.
You want Denver plus 3.5?
Yeah.
Denver
I don't feel good about it.
Denver minus 3.5.
I don't like it. I'm taking them to cover.
Denver minus
3.5.
Yeah, minus 3.5. All right. My second one is I'm going over Chargers Titans. I think Chargers score points. Titans Chargers defense is bad. I'll go over 45 in the Chargers Titans.
On that same game, I'm going to take the Chargers -2.5. I think they come back, score some points, and get it right.
That's on the road.
On the road.
All right, what's your last one?
My last one is the Cleveland Browns -2.5 at Pittsburgh. Same thing. Their defense just looks so good. And
That's a good one. You're going into Monday, though. All right, well, I thought we were all on Sunday so we could do this on Monday, but that's all right.
My apologies.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
all right.
realize that.
Yeah, that's all right. We could give you the leeway. We'll calibrate on Tuesday. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I didn't even look at that game. I'm like, how did I not see that? I like that. All right, what's your third one?
My third one, I'll go with Indianapolis +1 at Houston.
Indianapolis +1 at Houston. It's funny. I'm on that same game, and I'm taking Houston -1 over Indianapolis. So I got Houston to beat Indianapolis -1. All right, we'll see how we do. We're not very good at this.
If we want to keep it Sunday, I'd take Jacksonville at home as 3.5 point dog. I'd take Jacksonville.
Jacksonville +3.5 versus KC. All right, see how bad we are. All right, Mud, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Mud.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Nice grooving. What's up?
Nah, man, this is the day. This is came to for tomorrow for the big game. Both Aggies and Lobos. It's going to be a good atmosphere. I think that they're going to get 40,000, in my opinion. Yeah. It's going to be a walk up for the general public or whatever. But as of last night, they sold out the student section, so there's going to be all those crazies down there. All the students go Lobos. I do want Jerry Kill to be on the other side. I don't want him to be sick anymore, and I hope that he's on the other side because I don't want to hear whining Aggie fans saying, we lost the game because our coach wasn't there, blah, 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 blah. So this is to the Aggies. Go Lobos.
Right on, Mud. Thank you. And I think we all hope Jerry's well. I think we all hope that Jerry's able to be there, whether it's in the sideline, whether he's coaching from the booth, whatever. I think we all hope that Jerry's feeling better. I'll give you this. I don't know a Lobo fan that doesn't like Jerry. Like, he's a hard guy, A, not to like, and B, not to respect. So, all right, this came in from Grady. Sweet hoers of the OD and the AM. All hoes are sweet. But when you can get deals on them, too, they're fire. I'm really looking forward to the Rio Grande rivalry tomorrow. I'm one of those UNM fans that roots for the Aggies all year except for one weekend, and I don't think this game is going to disappoint for the first time in a long time. The Lobos have done what they're supposed to have done at this point in the season. Don't embarrass themselves in the money game. In fact, the offense showed they can make plays against starters of almost any strike, and they blew out the squad they should have blown out. Not to mention, they stayed healthy, and in particular, the quarterback. Aggies are continuing to look like a team that's not going to drop off a cliff after a decent season, dare I say. They look like they can be, wait for it, consistently competitive in most games. I absolutely agree with JJ. This game is huge with capitals for both squads, and they both know it. There's actually a buzz and anticipation and expectation in the air. Even the new Mustang is coming up from Silver City to go to the game with his Panther, now Lobo boys. That's his son. Truth be told, like Devontae Charles, that's you, DC, Devontae Charles, I'm a little disappointed in the absolute lack of smack from diehard Lobo fans. Maybe that's a result of nerves and not wanting to be served huge doses of crow electronically from the Crimson One down south. Maybe a good competitive battle in the stands-free game will bring out even more passion and smack regardless of the outcome. Does the new title sponsorship for the now Isleta New Mexico Bowl mean your guy can get a tea time down there? Congratulations to the ex-TV guy and to the staff. That's a big deal and well-deserved. Poking bears rarely leads to anything positive, especially one that won't mind running up the score. Maybe Jay Norvell has put his team in a position that if they can keep it under 3 scores, they win. Loving the sweet ho vibes, Grady and Santa Fe by way of the village up north. UNM 21, NMSU. I'm sorry, UNM 24, NMSU 21 is his prediction. All right. Yeah, I could probably find a tea time at his letter now. I think I might have been able to find one before. But yes, we can get a tea time down. Where the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. Maybe I can get John Summers to mention it too. We'll see. Got an email on it. Your broadcast partner, Ned James. Dan says on Nedward Abraham James Jr., Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Devontae Charles. Yesterday I saw him outside the Student Activity Center. Want to talk about a rock star? Beautiful co-eds all around him. It's from Dan. I know nothing of this. Respect.
I'll have to ask him.
Man, well, the quarterbacks get all the chicks. Right? Isn't that how that works?
Usually.
Text line says a lot of teams use that system to mask their signals, and yes, teams steal signals. We had a call about the big New Mexico flag blocking signals and evidently blocking the view of some people in the stands. I got a joke for you. Oh, wait, it's not a joke. I'm not. Mud says Lobos 55, Aggies 0. All right. What's the score? All right. What's the spread on the Colorado game? Here, I'm going to get it for you. What do you think Deion's going to do to Colorado State? Because that's the other big story of the college weekend, right?
Oh, yeah.
The spread is 24.
And Deion did gift his entire team sunglasses.
God bless him. They should all wear hats, too. Is that the easiest bet on the board, laying 24 and taking Colorado?
Yeah.
I mean, are we all going down to his letter right now and like, here's I'll take Colorado and lay 24. If you told me that was the first half number, I'd even consider laying 24 in the first half. They're going to beat them like they stole something, right? Because why? They done made it personal. All that bull junk, they made it personal. It's not the biggest spread on the board. Now I'm looking at gigantic spreads. Texas is 30 over Wyoming. Does Wyoming keep it within 30 at Texas? That's tempting to me. No? Okay, that one tempts me. Hawaii at Oregon, 38.5. 38.5. Too much? Or are you taking all the favorites and laying these points? Michigan, 40.5 over Bowling Green. I mean, it's gigantic.
The Michigan one, I could see them taking the under just because what they did versus UNLV.
Yeah.
They weren't concerned
35-7.
About, putting up 60 points in the game, run football, bleeding that clock.
All right, here's one. Oregon State, 25.5 over the Aztecs. It's the last time the San Diego State was a 25.5 point dog. There are huge spreads this weekend. Alabama's 33 over South Florida. On the road. How the hell does that game on the road? Alabama's going to South Florida. I got a 33-point home dog. Tell me the last time you saw a 33-point home dog. So they're tempting. You want me to do a 3-for-all in college? Give me Colorado, first of all. Give me Colorado, second of all. And double down on Colorado. What's the over-under on that game? 63. I'll take the Aztecs in the 25.5. You want to give me 25.5? And I mean, give me some of these big giant
24.5.
Is it 24.5? Is that what you're seeing?
So right there. Well, they lost by 25 last weekend.
I'm seeing at home to
UCLA.
Yeah. And Oregon State's probably better. You know what? I mean, I get it, but give me the Aztecs on the road 25.5 just because. I never bet the Aztecs. I just never do.
How did that game come about? Alabama at South Florida.
I know.
That's not a neutral site game. It's
tempted on a home dog of 33, even though it's Alabama? Alabama's going to whoop them, huh? McElwain and Akey, 34. I'll take this one. Give me Central Michigan and 34.5 at Notre Dame. 34.5. You don't like that? You don't think it's enough?
Notre Dame got that.
Get my guy Rob Akey on his defense to slow him down. All right. That's why everybody's watching the Lobo Aggie game. That's why it's the best game of the weekend in college football.
Did you see what Central Michigan did last weekend?
Yeah, they barely got by somebody.
45-42 win over New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was an FCS. And they lost 31-7 to Michigan State. You're right. I don't want that.
Do it.
No, you're
right.
talking me. I don't want
Stone cold lock of the weekend.
No, I don't want it. Take
Central Michigan.
Take it back. I don't want it. I don't want Central Michigan.
Dan, we already made a promo about it.
I don't want it. Take it off the promo. I don't want it. I got a conference game, Mountain West Conference game tonight. Air Force -9 at home against Utah State, who put up 70-something last week.
Looking forward to watching that one tonight.
Vanderbilt -5. So UNLV is a 5-point home dog against an SEC team at home. You like Vegas getting the points in a win against an SEC team? Vegas is interesting. Big.
I got to see it I can't pull the trigger on you.
Big opportunities this weekend. Fresno State is a 3-point favorite at a Pac-12 school. Fresno State is a 3-point favorite at Arizona State. Yeah. Fresno State won 38-35 last week at home. had a battle against, or 34-31, had a battle against Eastern Washington last week. They won at Purdue. Tell you what, if they beat Arizona State this weekend, is Fresno State your favorite for the Group of 5 New Year's Six Bowl?
I think they would jump Tulane at that point.
Well, Tulane's got a loss. Granted, they lost to Ole Miss, but they would have beaten Purdue on the road and Arizona State on the road. I'll take Fresno State. Thank you to George Carter. He was with us today, as was Nick Nee. Great week, boys. Really fun week. Should lead into a tremendous weekend. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd after that. 2 Men on at 4, and then the Isotopes are in El Paso. JJ and I are working this weekend. Catch JJ on the pregame show over on the Lobo Radio Network. Him and Edward Abraham James have pregame, halftime, and postgame. News Radio KKOB and the Lobo Radio Network. I will have the call with George Carter, Lobos Aggies on the Mountain West Network, and Crime TV, channel 7.3, I believe. And we'll be working. DC, great weekend, or great week. Have a great weekend. Adrian, terrific week. It looks wonderful on the visual medium. Big weekend for ProView Networks. I'll see you out there tomorrow, huh?
Have some fun.
All right. Have a great, safe weekend, boys and girls. We're back on Monday with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. Be good to each other. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you Monday.
It's the massive sales gargantuan. I'd like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.